All right.
I see you there, Chris.
Good morning.
One of our icons from Bellingham, Washington.
Morning.
Patrick Hay is in the house. Jackie, woo!
Hey, Tobin.
Hey, how are you?
Also an icon in the midst. Tobin, how do you declare your market area? Is that Salt Lake City or suburb of that?
Yeah, it's pretty much like the Salt Lake Valley, so Salt Lake City.
Got it. Great. Well, and how is your market right now?
We've kind of taken a little bit of a slowdown. I think people are a little bit on the hesitant side to do much. But depending on where you price the home, it still goes pretty quick within 48 hours.
Wow. And is your inventory low like it is in most places, less than 60 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely low.
Yeah. Great. I'm going to, and I see a couple more icons. There's Almat and Amir and Seth. Reardon's in the house. I'm going to, okay, you said Eric, I have screen share capabilities. Is that correct?
Yes, you do.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to get us going here momentarily. And there we go. All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Don Yoakum. This is the Atomic Team meeting. And we are going to be talking mastermind from the Nakoma Resort and just talk about some of our key takeaways from that tremendous event. We had both a production and attraction panel there, and the sharing was just amazing. Also, just a great, somebody said to me yesterday, man, you guys really know how to mix fun with education. So we definitely got our share of fun as well. And so thank you for coming this morning so that we can share those little pearls of wisdom. But before we do that, I am going to share my screen and introduce to you some of our icons. We have a number of folks that have achieved icon status throughout our organization, throughout the country. Top of the list, Christopher Erdman out of Bellingham, Washington. Christopher, in one sentence, tell us your top business source that's enabling you to be an icon in this market. Networking, I love it. Okay. Tobin, to you, man. I know you are a great sphere guy, but tell us what's your number one business source that's enabling you to icon in this market?
It's all been networking for just all sphere. I'm now 100% referral based. So
no marketing costs, or do you do anything with branding?
No, I definitely have marketing costs because I do client events and things like that, but it's all to people that have used me in the past and stuff like that.
Love it.
Seth Reardon.
I would say, number one source is it's really referral business and sphere of influence, but I've been having good success with finding off-market properties for investors and leveraging Property Radar and finding, sending emails and letters there. So that's been really good.
I love it. Yeah, and also want to give recognition to Brenda out of St. Charles, Missouri, Michael Devlin out of the East Bay, Sierra Haskins out of Chico, and Jerry Ann Trent. Meagan, will you help me with that? Where is she located?
She's out of Tennessee, Mount Carmel, Tennessee.
All right. So you guys, these are folks that have recently achieved icon status and you could trust with your referrals. So let's keep them on that icon list. and we would appreciate you for that, and also want to thank them for their hard work, because since about May 2022, achieving icon has become a whole new thing at level of difficulty. So for those that are doing it, I'm so impressed. We do have actually a number of other icons in the house that were at the mastermind. So I want you guys to be ready to share some of your pearls of wisdom here in a moment. But before I do that, I just want to also give acknowledgement to the folks that have recently capped. And I've got too big a list there, but you can see it on the screen. I happen to know that Almat and Amir are both, as well as Cassidy Burns and Deb Britton, are also icons. I see Thomas Dave's on the list.
Woohoo!
We know he's an icon. And but all of these people have recently capped and deserve our acknowledgement. Joseph Calloway, geez, he's already capped. He's hardly been in our company a few months. That's impressive. And then finally, new folks that have joined us. Great list of folks that are coming in to be part of our team now. And I see Blake Hupfer, he was at the mastermind, is on that list, and he's already engaging and making the commitment to be with us up in Tahoe. So, Meagan, thank you for putting together that list. I appreciate it. I know they would as well. And what we'll do now is go to some masterminding. And so, as I said, we've got a few icons in the house that are that were at the mastermind. Alma, let's begin with you. What would you say was your key takeaway from the Nakoma mastermind?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, in my opinion, in my observation, there's three types of agent. The first agent is the one that always talks of some deals that never happened and blames everybody because they didn't happen. The second agent, I call it transactional agent, does transaction, runs, finishes it, and goes back, another catch transaction. The icon agents are the agents that you always see them in mastermind. Are they teaching or are they learning? It doesn't matter. They are always excited to do both things. Every time, the ones that are copying, the ones that are icon, the ones that are running companies, and they are learning and teaching. They have nodes, they have computers, they have this. If you look at them, you would think these people has no knowledge at all about real estate because they are observing and getting everything. The next thing you see, they are standing and teaching. And that's what I observe. You know, if you really want to be in the category of these people that Don just announced, come to this. And, you know, I hear, oh, I don't have money. I'm busy. I'm doing this. Everything before it comes to the business. And then, you know, like there is no business, interest rate is high, nobody's selling, nobody's buying. How come we sell and we buy? How come our clients are buying and selling? You know, come to these events, learn from this professional, learn from, there's never enough for me to learn. There's always somebody said something like, why didn't I think about that? I may transform that into something that works for Alma, you know, but I get the idea from there, you know, and can be any agent, any leader, any of them can say something, or the years back I used it and I forgot it. And it comes perfect for this market. Perfect, because we have people here that has gone through every market there was. And I cannot claim that. That's my takeaway.
I love it. I love it. Well, and you're certainly a wonderful example of that. And I learned something from you, by the way, at the event. I knew that Alma, when she sells a property, she promotes that not only on social media, but she does pretty extensive direct mail. In fact, has her own mailing equipment for that purpose. And I said, well, Alma, how many pieces do you send after a closing? And she says, well, up to 5,000. I'm like, whoa, okay. But this is a young lady that sold 78 properties last year in the East Bay, okay? Average sales price, I'm sure north of $600,000. So what does it cost you to send 5,000 pieces, Alma?
We do not send in one point. We can send more than 5,000 because this machine behind me processes 15,000 letters. It puts the envelope and letter together and seals it, and it's done. And we order already letters with our stamp because we have bulk mail. We do not do EDM, every door mail. We do bulk mail. It's a very different, and price is very different. And our envelopes comes right away with the, I'm trying to.
And what really quickly, what is the cost?
Okay, I'm going to come to, you see, this is our envelope with our stamp. This is bulk stamp, and this is our address. And the letters we're sending in goes inside, this machine puts it inside licks. Now, let's say about 500 letters can range around $130. It all depends because we do not send only to the homes. We send whenever the seller leaves. We use property radar and we take the addresses where the property taxes go. That way I have a lot of people that's out of state or out of city because I'm the only agent they know here because I'm the only one who advertised. You know, we closed 6 homes from one lady. You know, she started with 1 and then end of the conversation, she had 6. And actually I bought one from her on a very good price.
Very nice. So what I hear you saying is that for 500 pieces, it's about $130. So that's in the neighborhood of 26 cents a piece.
Up and down, you know, because very good.
And what is your conversion rate? How many pieces to another deal?
We try to calculate that. It's so hard because I go to listing appointments. And by the way, 99.9, I'm the only agent. Like I have not missed a listing appointment where I didn't get signed. Like I don't remember last time like that happened. I'm the only agent they call in. And what we noticed is that when I go there, they may have 3 letters from me. And they say, we've been collecting your letters because we knew we were selling home in August, in May, and it's very hard to kind of define what trigger. What I want to say is whatever we do, it brings us listings every month.
And what if you were to guess?
3 listings a month. 3 listings a month. 3 listings a month.
From your mailing?
Yes.
And how many pieces do you average mailing in a month?
It could be up to, like I said, 5,000.
Okay. So then 1,700 pieces per deal, and it's 27 cents. Somebody do that math for me.
We have employees. I'm not going to do that.
I think it's about $450 per deal, $500 a deal.
Something like that.
Yeah, 459. I was pretty close.
We're going up 500. We say
500. What is your average commission, Alma?
12,000 the least. Like we don't have homes under 500. Like if we go 480 home, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, it goes 500, 5 something.
Okay, for those of you keeping up with the math, that's about a 4% cost of sale. That is really good.
Yeah, that's why I said a bulk mail, it's way, way better. And my opening rent, it's 100%.
That's it. That's pretty incredible. So now I do want to warn you that it's important that you be doing multiple pillars of marketing in one concentrated area to be able to generate a response like Alma is doing, okay? If you just do one thing, you won't get that kind of return. And also, if you don't do it over a period of time, take note of what Alma said. They showed me 3 letters that they had been saving of mine, right? So it's not necessarily going to work on your first attempt. Remember that, in a given month, there's only a 1 in 120 chance that they're moving that month, right? Because people move every 10 years. Amir is in the house, and
yes,
you were at the mastermind, also on the panel. I think there's a word that we all had for you which was conviction. Man, it was really fun to have you on the panel and just hear how powerful your belief is. But what was your takeaway from the event?
What Alma said. So a lot of people think they shouldn't come to these events, right? And not only this event, I'm talking about, this is a small event comparing to Cabo EXP Con, very small, right? But every time I haven't missed any EXP Con event since I joined EXP, right? And this is my fourth now, I believe, is going there. So, and the same, these small events is not only about learning from different people nuggets, but also networking, because you see you networking with other people, they're much more successful than you, and maybe in some other fields, and you more successful in different fields, and now everybody exchanging information. So I was in a agent attraction panel this Thursday. I'm gonna be on a P car with Tom on the production panel. So if you in Sacramento, I would encourage you to come. It's a free event in a P car on Thursday.
What time? 10
to 12, I believe. Tom, is it 10 to 12? I believe 10 to 12, yeah.
Fantastic.
And then the same with the production and agent interaction, similar with Alma. I mean, Alma did teach me some of the farming, right, as well. And I have those 23 lead generation systems. The biggest problem with the farming, what Alma didn't mention, is the cost of packaging the letters. Because if you fast, you need about 15 seconds per letter. Fold, put it, lick it, and put a stamp. 15 seconds if you fast. That's 4 letters per minute, 240 per hour. Let's say 250. So to send 2,500 letters, you need 10 hours non-stop work, right?
Does that include putting a Band-Aid on your lip for?
excluding going to bathroom, excluding our lunch. So 10 hours. I tried to hire my 12-year, at that time was 11-year daughter, and gave her $40. After first hour, she said, "Dad, is too much work." She asked for double, $80. And I gave her $80. She didn't finish, I don't know, $100,000, whatever, during the winter break. But with the machine, what Alma has, and I purchased 2 actual leads for my office, it takes 1 hour. 1 or 2 hours. You don't need to, be there, and you just you have to be there to feed the machine, but it goes automatically.
Alma, would you put the name and brand of that and the cost of that machine in the chat, please? Well, thank you, Amir. Randy Byrd. Randy moderated the attraction panel and was there networking with us. What was your key takeaway from the event?
I was trying to keep these raging bulls and powerhouses under control, because when we start talking about it, they were just fired up. And, a couple times I felt like I had to tackle them and just keep it to a minimum. But the takeaways for me was like I said, it was the energy and the belief that they have. That's why they're so successful. Everybody on that panel had hundreds of people in their organization. And it's because they had this just unwavering conviction. And conviction, the word came up a couple times, but it was an unwavering conviction of what this model has done for them, what this model is going to do for the recipient that they're talking to, and really in a place of, I was convinced, right? I'm already convinced. But listening to Amir and Matthew and the way that they talk through this, and it was really, really incredible to experience, the deep conviction that comes with that. How do you say no to somebody that's convinced? It's like taking somebody that just has the highest level of conviction for something and saying, yeah, that doesn't work. They're going to fight you over it. They're not going to just disagree. They're going to fight you over it. And that was the feeling I got, is these people are willing to go toe to toe and fight over it, but they do it in a way that is, it's sharing. It's assuming that they're going to be better off later for it, and not taking those objections and rejections and things personally. So that's what comes up for me immediately.
Love it. Well,
it was really powerful for the people that were there. And, Dawn, thank you for you and Tom and all the other leaders putting this thing on. It was really a first-class event. And like I always say, events build belief. And if you weren't there, you do not have the level of belief that you would have today if you had been there.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of that conviction, Randy, one of the things that comes to my mind is Deb Britton with her Southern charm. And she wakes up to each week and she says, okay, who are the 3 people that are going to list with me this week? And if she doesn't have 3, she dives into her database, her CRM, and she goes and finds them. And it was just so crystal clear in my mind that she was convicted that she was going to get 3 listings that week. Right. And just love that. Absolutely. Speaking of that conviction, there is another term that I was reminded of this week. And sometimes people will ask me, well, what is the key to success? And oftentimes I have said discipline. If there's one common denominator that I've observed of the top people in any field of endeavor, frankly, it's discipline. And this week, I was introduced to a new thought process around discipline because, of course, I'm partnered with the king of all kings when it comes to the discipline of prospecting, which is Tom Daves. And there he is. Look at that. You're not pushing up that muscle on the other side, are you? Okay. Anyway, but he deserves it. My the word that comes to mind is resolve. Okay, so what this doctor of psychology was sharing is he said, people think of discipline as great habits, like somebody that's got discipline has great habits, right? Well, that probably is true. Okay. But the reason why they have those great habits is because they have resolved to themselves that they're going to do whatever it takes to achieve their objective. That may be icon status, may be a 6-figure income, it may be a 7-figure income in attraction. Whatever the case may be, they are resolved. And when you become resolved, you show up and you practice great habits. Matthew, you were there, Nakoma. What was your key takeaway?
Well, it's always tough being on the end of the takeaways because there's so many good things that have already been shared, right? But a couple little nuggets. One that I shared with Randy earlier was his aspect of on agent attraction, when you're talking to people and they say, oh, is this a pyramid or something like that? And to take it away from that completely and just say, hey, let's put that on the shelf. And do you do referral fees? Are you open to referral fees? And they go, well, yeah, of course, And he said, well, how many referrals did you do last year? I don't know. I did 12 or 15 or something. And he said, yeah, well, I did 3,000 some odd, whatever referrals. And I never really had it presented that way, or at least where it sunk in. And I went, oh my gosh, that's really brilliant, because you can literally stop agents in their tracks, even top producers. And then I would go, with referrals, we get to leverage our time because we just get it out and then they do all the work and we get paid. What if you did that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5,000 times in a year after year? Would you be interested to learn a little bit more about that? I thought that was a pretty cool aha. Obviously the power. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So Meagan, take note of what Matthew just said there. New part of your monthly task list is letting Tom and I know how many referrals we got in the previous 30 days.
Well, and again, it's a referral reward from EXP. So basically your rev share on closed transactions, right?
Of course. Yeah. No, yeah. Well, yeah. And that average referral is probably about $350-$400. But no, I love that.
Right. Isn't that powerful? It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So,
okay. And one last thing, go ahead. What else?
It's been said before, but the power of events. I mean, it seems like the people that struggle to get there, right? They have life comes up or money's tight or this or that. They're the ones that get the biggest reward and biggest return for being there, because they had a struggle. They were on the verge of not coming. And then, either somebody stepped in and said, hey, I'll help you out. Let's get you there. Or they figured out a way. They sold something. I had somebody in my organization that, a couple other people said they were for sure going, and then they canceled the day of. And then this gentleman figured out a way. And he's a guy that's already in EXP. He wasn't a guest, but his mind was literally blown. He goes, oh my gosh, I get it now. I go, you were lumping EXP with all the other brokerages, weren't you? There was no difference really in your mind, right? He goes, yeah. He goes, I go, like EXP is on a whole nother level. Do you see why we're excited? He goes, oh my gosh, it's like life changing. I'm so fired up right now. So I said, okay, now you need to get the EXP con and have it go a whole nother level. Like Amir said, it's like, this was a smaller event, very powerful. But when you get around 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 agents from all 50 states and other countries, and the announcements and the guest speakers, trainers, I mean, it's just, you can't top it. It's just, it's amazing. You got to do everything to get people there. And for those of you that are on this call and listening to this later, EXP has really helped us as leaders by giving an Explorer Pass. So for every paid ticket, you get a free non-EXP licensed realtor guest. You guys should be leveraging that like crazy. And you don't say, hey, we got a free ticket, we'll get you. You say, you know what? I will invest in you and I will buy your ticket. They're about $900. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to invest in you. Let's get you to EXPCon. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Right? And you get them the Explorer Pass and you get them there, get them around the people.
Fantastic. Doug, you were there. Tell us your takeaway.
Morning, Don.
Morning.
Yeah, the one thing about the conviction was the fear of rejection is conviction, right? Is one thing that I got out of that. So rather than just being passive and expecting and waiting for business to come your way to go after it, but a couple of the things, and I think it was Amir that mentioned it, and it was the 3 ways of creating wealth, and that was the compound interest, owning your own company, and 8 out of 9 millionaires are created wealth through real estate. And so those are for the people that are, or my buyers or sellers that are on the fence as far as how to interact or how to do another transaction. I think that was some really solid points. And it was amazing to see what Randy had to offer along with Matthew and yourself and Tom. And it was definitely worth my while to make the effort to get there.
Yeah, which is, by the way, Doug was one of those people, Matthew. He did decide at the last minute because he has been taking care of his family. And so he's had a lot of responsibilities in that regard. And when he arrived that night, he looked at me and he's like, man, that was quite the drive up here. But he did it, right? And benefited for it.
Right.
So, fantastic. Blake, first of all, welcome to our team, our organization. It is awesome to have you be part of us. Tell us your key takeaway. You've just recently joined us. What did you learn?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, thanks for the welcome to the team. It's been an exciting journey so far. So I really enjoyed Randy and Matthew's dialoguing back and forth with the agent attraction side. That was just a lot of fun to watch, and I got a lot out of it. And then I would say just the energy was contagious. I mean, I think you mentioned it where, if anyone got within 10 feet of Deb, you felt it. She was on fire. So that was just the connections and the new friendships, and it was such a refreshing feeling and such a refreshing event from the previous brokerage I was at. I mean, there was nothing like it. So it's so neat to see and to experience just something that's in my mind so much better. So,
well, you and many others had commented to me that they were pretty astounded with the caliber of professionals that we've managed to align with. And it's true. Boy, we just have so many great people in our organization. And it's they say that you'll be the average of the 5 people that you're hanging with, man. I don't know what the average income in that room was, but it was high, baby. So what I want you to think about, those of you that are resolved to join us at EXPCon, is that I don't want you to rely on the event. I want you to think about the people that you want to network with. And I want you to reach out to them prior to the event and schedule breakfasts and lunches with them or coffees. And you will find that that is a really powerful way to learn. In fact, I often learn more at these events in the hallways or at those coffee appointments than I do from the stage. I just find that as great as speakers are, you tend to hear about 98% of the story. And that extra little 2%, that secret sauce, you get at the coffee meeting. So make sure that you take advantage of that and be sure that you are doing it proactively, right? So reach out. The best people are going to be the busiest people. And so if you want to meet with them, you need to call them early before their schedule is fully committed. Now, for those that are not here, does anybody have a question of one of our icons that we introduced today, or from the folks that were at the mastermind? Do you guys, would you like to see a question answered? That I hear so much because we've got agents in over 30 states now, and I hear so many people lamenting about the market. It was just really refreshing to see these guys just crushing it, right? And then when Meagan got me our icon list and I saw Christopher and I saw Tobin on there and Seth, I'm like, dude, man, these guys are doing it. They're doing it in spite of the market, not because of it. So, Tom, do you want to talk about upcoming events and so forth? What do you got cooking for Freedom Friday?
Yeah. So, and I'll tie this into what Brent said at the event. Brent came in hot and he said, this is a special moment in time with real estate and with EXP. We have never seen this before. So we just need to take massive, focused action with a sense of urgency. And like Dawn said, do whatever it takes. And because right now, basically, it's Q4. I mean, the first day of fall is this Friday, fall equinox, and we're in Q4, October, November, and December. And the business that you lose in the last quarter of the year, you'll never gain. And the business that you gain, you will never lose. So I'm going to present the 11 tips to finish strong in Q4 this Friday, Freedom Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific. Finish strong, the 11 tips to finish strong.
Awesome. Thank you. Randy, you want to close this out? What's your closing thought?
There's nothing to add to this except get to EXPCon. Right? This was a little sample of what we're doing as a team, but as a company, EXPCon's the place, and Vegas is the cheapest opportunity to go to any event. The flights are like $89. I mean, go to Google Flights and put in the times that you want to go, and every day it updates me saying it's changed price. It goes up one day, down the other day. I'm finding first class tickets for $300 to Vegas from Portland. So you guys can, get tickets to Vegas. You could drive to Vegas. You could get to Vegas through helicopter. It doesn't matter to me. Just get to Vegas and then get an Explore Pass. And if you're going to Vegas, get a guest to go with you. If you can't, call everybody in Vegas and say, I've got a free ticket, the $900 ticket to an event right here in town. Join me. Even if they come in and just see a sample of it, it's going to be a win for you. That's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to, elevate your real estate business and more importantly, the gift of revenue share and stock options in this company. So.
Love it. Love it. And Kim Mason, who is also there with us in Tacoma, said, be an activity monster. All right. So that's what we want for you guys. Go out and be activity monsters. Do it in a kind way. All right, everybody.
Thanks, Don. Thanks, everybody.
Good job. Thanks, Don. See y'all.
Okay.